Alright, so Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is just about to come out, and I'm very excited. I know you're excited, Razma.
Oh, I'm so excited, it's killing me.
Okay, so we're gonna do something that you're probably not expecting.
It's gonna be a little controversial.
Top 5 best fighting games of all time.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, JewWario here with a very special guest host, Razma. You know him as the guy who's always in my fighting videos because he's the fighting guy. He plays the fighting games. I suck, he does not. So I've asked him to help me compile a top 5 list of the best fighting games. Now, what are the criteria for these best 5?
Well, they have to have a large player base. You know, if a game doesn't have a large player base, it doesn't survive in a tournament scene. And just because it's played in tournaments doesn't mean it's the best fighting games ever. 2, the game has to be balanced. There's no point in playing a fighting game if you're only going to have 2 characters that actually are able to do anything. Mm-hmm. And 3, the game has to be out. Can't be a game like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or the next BlazBlue that's not out yet, because, there's no way to judge that. But I have faith in Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Number 5, King of Fighters 98 Ultimate Match. 98?
Yep, 1998.
So, what's about this one?
Well, King of Fighters 98 came out in 98. King of Fighters 98 Ultimate Match came out in 2008. It added more characters, updated balance, and a large roster of characters. There are 64 playable characters in this game, and all of them are very balanced.
Are they clones of each other, or do they each have their own style? I mean...
And that's one of the great things about the SNK games, is each character plays like their own character. Now you have alternate versions of the characters that have different movesets, but each character plays very differently from each other.
Wow.
King of Fighters 98 is one of the most played fighting games in the world. It's incredibly popular in China, South America, Mexico, because it's easy to get. It's also one of the most balanced fighting games. You won't find a roster that's that large, that's that balanced anywhere else in any fighting game ever made. Wow. Number 4, Street Fighter Alpha 2. Street Fighter Alpha 2, once again, about character variety and balance. Everyone loves Street Fighter games. I know I do. Street Fighter Alpha 2 came out shortly after Street Fighter Alpha 1 in the arcades. It added more characters, and it added a new system called Custom Combos. The game is incredibly balanced, it's faster than Street Fighter Alpha 1, and it's not as crazy as Street Fighter Alpha 3. Street Fighter Alpha 3 is a great game. It has lots of characters, but it's incredibly imbalanced because of the custom combo system in that game. Street Fighter Alpha 2 is beautiful to look at, a lot of fun to play, and is incredibly balanced, and still played in some tournaments.
Now, about this custom combo thing, what is custom combo?
When you have a full super bar, hit 2 attack buttons on the same row and 1 attack button on a different row. So you would hit light punch, medium punch, light kick, for example, and your character would go into a custom combo. In this mode, moves cancel into each other, so you can do big, long strings of attacks that do lots of damage.
Now, how does that differ then from the other one that you said wasn't so good?
One technique by advanced players called crouch canceling. You'll see some videos of this online. It makes the game not fun because it creates an infinite combo in the corner. You can't get out of it, the game is no longer fun.
Number 3, Soulcalibur for the Dreamcast. Now, why for the Dreamcast?
The arcade version is wonderful, don't get me wrong, but the Dreamcast version did everything that the arcade version did and more. More characters, more stages, the graphics are gorgeous, and there's so much customization you can even customize the opening cutscene.
Really?
Yeah, you can customize the opening cutscene of the game. It's incredibly balanced, lots of fun. And they did a lot of things with this game that really revolutionized 3D fighting games, like full 3D movement and an active counter system. It's a lot of fun. Number 2, Tekken Tag Tournament.
I mean, second best fighting game of all time.
Absolutely. In my opinion, I think it's one of the greatest.
Okay.
It has a large cast of characters. Every Tekken character up to that point has been, was in that game. That's lots.
Wow.
Second, it's incredibly balanced. Not the most balanced 3D fighting game out there. You have some shenanigans with Jin. I'm sure some fighting game players know. But otherwise, the game is incredibly tricky to play. You have to be on your toes at all times. It's fast. People that love making long combos love the game. And it did something that no other 3D game had done before, which is the ability to control multiple characters at once.
Really?
Yes.
Multiple characters at once?
Right. You can do a combo, tag into your other character, and continue the combo, and you can even tag back. You can throw to your other character. And they're expanding on this a lot with Tekken Tag Tournament 2, which was just recently announced.
And finally, number 1, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Okay, so why Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo? What does it have that makes it the best fighting game of all time, besides you liking Street Fighter?
Well, there's two things. One, balance.
That's just the big thing. Everybody's balanced?
Right. Well, not everybody. There's one character, Akuma, who is pretty much banned in tournament play.
Okay.
But he's a secret character. You have to do a code to get him, and everyone knows that he's not allowed in tournament play. But for a game to be out as long as Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo has, and it's still getting played in tournaments today, still huge in Japanese arcades, and still constantly having new characters winning tournaments all the time, you know, that really tells you something about the game and how quality it is.
And for somebody to actually be a tournament player, to do this for a living, and want to play a different character, to have that character, you know, win or something, you know, maybe they've learned a new trick or something, that it really tells about the strength of the game and longevity.
Yes, it does. And for those of you that might not have access to an arcade board of Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, HD Remix on Xbox Live Arcade and PlayStation Network is really good if you play original mode. A lot of fighting game enthusiasts don't like the HD mode because it made changes to the characters that a lot of people don't agree with. And,
Like what?
Well, for example, Chun-Li changed completely as a character. Some of her kicks were removed and the direction of her spinning bird kick was changed. T-Hawk lost a lot of his mobility with his Hawk dive, and it was not able to bounce back as far once it's blocked. And that makes it harder for him to get out of sticky situations if the move is blocked. Makes him unplayable. They're really minor changes, and you probably won't notice them unless you're a big Street Fighter fan. But play Classic mode. It's a lot better.
So now Marvel vs. Capcom 3, you've got an idea of, right now we've got most of the characters. Who are you going to play?
I've got 2 teams picked out so far. We'll see how they work. My main is going to be Dormammu, MODOK, and Trish. I'm going to stand back, trap you to death, make sure you can't even move. My second team is going to be Zero, Crimson Viper, and Dante. Pure rush down, pure speed. You won't know what's even coming at you.
Wow, and me, I have no idea because I suck at fighting games. So we'll see who I pull out. Probably Magneto and somebody else. Maybe Captain America, just because I like Captain America. And you can already tell he has thought out better ideas than this. Well, thanks for, you know what? If you have an idea of, you know, do you think we've done something wrong? Do you think you've got a better idea of what the best fighting games are? Let us know, you know, post down below in the comments. And we'll see you next time in the pipeline.